That's a common mistake, hitting your head on stuff. Oh, you guys probably want to see what I'm doing. Just putting this bathroom. Sorry about the noise, but I'm gonna have to vacuum the floor. The only reason I'm dressed like this is because I work full time, and I guess I need this light. I work full time, and it's easier to only have to worry about one set of clothes. Um, I could easily replace all of my gym clothes and my cycling clothes with after work clothes, but that would just increase the amount of laundry that I would have to do. So I just dress like this all the time. It's just easier that way. So you guys are just watching me live. Um, this is what I do. Gotta wash some dishes, so got a little, I don't know if you can see it, but I have a little spot here where I can put my hand. How much water do I have? Oh crap. That is not good. Alright, so I don't have enough water to really do anything. That's gonna have to hang out for a while. So basically what I just did was I decided to check my water level, which this control panel lets me know um, what my battery is at, my fresh water, my black water tank, which is fecal matter and urine, and then the gray water tank, which is shower water and sink water. So periodically, when you live in a van full time, you check these things like crazy. You're almost like addicted to it. And I knew where it was this morning when I got up and took a shower. So if I were to press the battery, it's at full power right now. I have two onboard batteries and then a main battery for driving. Um, these are at full power because the generator is running. Where I am right now, I normally 98% of the time do not run the generator simply because it draws too much attention. The fresh water tank is empty. Some water will come out right now, but from the looks of it, I need to. If I want to take a shower or do anything, I need to go get some water now. Um, the black water tank says that it's 2/3 of the way full, which I don't think is correct because um, I don't do any number two in my restroom simply because I don't want to deal with that dumping it, so I don't do that. Um, I think the sensor may be bad. That does happen with RVs. And then the gray water tank is at 1/3, which is accurate because I filled the tank up to 1/3 for the fresh water. I filled this up to 1/3. Now all of that water is gone, and the gray water tank is at 1/3. So that's accurate. Um, this is my hot water heater. I don't need to use that right now, but and this is my carbon alarm. So that's my view right now, where the camera is stationed. Um, I generally don't like to show where I am simply because, um, you never know who's watching this stuff. But just so you know, I'm not. Just so you know, I'm not like sitting at a in my driveway. This is where I am. Um, but at any rate, I need to make some decisions as to what I'm going to do now. In the way of getting water, um, I have a 2002 Dodge Pleasureway. It's a Class B camper van. Um, it has two captain's chairs, a driver's seat, a passenger seat, and then it also has um, a bed back here that's a queen size bed that I can manipulate with the button here. There's a button right here, and that bed turns into a couch. So now the bed is a couch. Yeah. But I guess I should leave that on for you guys. Anyway, the AC is kicking right now, so it's pretty comfortable in here. Um, yes, it is cool. The drawback is, all right, a lot of people will glorify living in a van, um, but there are some drawbacks. Um, there are not a lot of people that are interested in spending their time in a van. I mean, I'm going to take both of my thumbs and I'm going to place them on my chest. This is where my nipples are. I'm going to place them there. And I'm going to put my elbows out. That's all the room you have to move throughout, And even at this point, I can't make it through here. I can't make it through. So if I go to the right with it, I can try and get through because my there's a recess on my right side. But once I get back here, I can stretch out completely. That's purely for sleeping purposes. But people don't want to spend their time inside of a van. A couple people were asking questions there, so I answered them. So back to getting water. So you have three options when you want to get water when you're living in a van. Well, my situation, it looks like a van to the average person, but it's really a Class B RV. Um, that's awesome. Wow. Someone lives in a Chevy 3500. That's a nice way to go. This is a Dodge 3500 ton that year. So it's about the same size. The only difference between this and on a regular 3500 is I have about on the outsides of the regular body of this van, I have about that much more space, and it makes a world of difference on each side. So, you know, I'm in. Listen, there are times where I really don't want to do this, where I think to myself I should just get an apartment. Um, and then there are other times where I'm like, man, I'm saving so much money. I'm in school full time. Um, I have the loan on this, which is like $265 a month, and then the insurance is like 130. It was cheaper than that, but um, I have everything on auto pay, and that was the one thing I didn't have on auto pay, and I missed one payment, and they would not renew it because I had two blowouts, and with the insurance, I claimed those blowouts. Like there was two blowouts, and I claimed them. So they paid for the damage to the outside. There was a situation where I got struck by lightning. They paid for that. Um, so you want to make sure that you have insurance because it's just like a house. Like I don't have a huge savings. I'm taking all that money and putting it towards debt. So if you don't have a huge savings, you want to make sure that you're covered. Um, Even if you have a vehicle that you only need liability on, you have to figure out whether or not um, you have enough money to take care of things that are like out of the norm. Because living in a vehicle You're going to be running the engine a lot more than somebody who's just driving it. You're going to be getting oil changes a lot quicker than somebody who's not who's just driving it. You're going to be I wouldn't say that you I don't know. I don't know about the weight thing because I've seen these vans are designed to be used very heavily. So anyway, um, yeah. I mean, I'm right now. I'm just trying to figure out if I want to cook dinner or if I want to go get water. Generally, I try to get water later in the day. Um, I try not to give too many of my secrets, and the reason for that is um, there are people who don't care whether or not. Man, this lighting situation is terrible. There are people who don't care. Let me see if I can find a light. Let's see if this works. Come on. All right. Does that work? No? Yes? Where are we at here? Right here? All right. There are people who don't care whether or not you live in a van, you live in a car, you live in your house. They just don't care. They, for example, people in houses, there are some people who don't cut their grass. There are some people who just let trash litter their front lawn. They let their dogs poop all over their front lawn and they don't clean it up. And then there are people with living in vans and living in vehicles who don't take care of the area around them. Unfortunately, living in a van, you have a responsibility to the area that you occupy. It needs to be better than when you left because if it's not, they're going to attribute it to you being there. That's just my opinion. I don't know if that's fact or not, but that's just my opinion. When I go somewhere, it's better than when I left. I guarantee you that. This light's not working, so I'm gonna put it back. But anyway, I'm getting hungry, so I'm gonna cook something. Um, we already have a bad rep as people who live in vans because of a couple of people. Excuse me one second, I'll be right back. All right, we already have a bad rep um, because of people. I got a new lighter for my stove because of people who don't care. There's people who live this lifestyle and they really just they think people somebody owes them something. Um, they don't feel like they are responsible for anything. The problem is I agree with that. I don't agree that somebody owes me something, but I agree that I shouldn't have to worry about something that I didn't do. However, with this lifestyle, um, people are going to say things like, "Oh, that van was there. I've never seen that trash before," or "Oh, that van was there. I've never seen so much crime in my neighborhood before." I'm like, I'm not even kidding you. That's just the way that it's going to happen. So, you need to be prepared for that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, I'm just looking down at my fridge here. Let's see if I can. All right. All I got in there is eggs. Do I want to make something difficult, or do I want to make something? Oh, come on, generator. Do not give out on me today. Today is not the day for that. Do I want to make something difficult or do I want to make something easy? It's only 5:30. We'll make pasta tonight. Not a whole. Ah, crap. We need water. Ha! Good thing I made sure I had enough water. Well, okay. You got to make sure that you pay attention to the extras that you buy. So this is best used by February 22nd, 2019. So I can afford to hang on to this for a little bit longer before I cook it because I really like bean burritos. Like I swear I eat them every single day. One, they're easy. Two, they're cheap. Three, Um, you can find them at Taco Bell because I don't eat meat. Um, Not because I'm like crazy for animals or anything, but I do love animals. They're amazing. I would never eat my dog. Um, I would never eat a cat. I don't have a dog. I used to, but I would never eat a cat or anything like that. Um, so I kept all of this so when I'm driving down the road, it doesn't sound crazy terrible. Like nobody wants to hear all that noise when they're driving down the road. All right, I think I got to turn some of these lights out because my generator's going to give out. I just heard a sound from my generator that I've never heard before. It sounded like, let's go outside and check it because it sounded really weird from the inside. Oh, let me show you what I did. I just tapped on it like that. Make sure it wasn't, because I think it's hitting. Okay. Whew. It's nice to get out of there and breathe a little bit. That's her right there. All right, so the generator was making a weird sound that I hadn't heard before. It sounded like it was banging up against something. So, all right, back to dinner. I gotta seriously think about this. Do I really want to sit here and go through this? Because the problem is where I'm parked right now, it could become a problem. I'm parked right outside of a major landmark, man, um, and they can make it difficult for me if I just if somebody complains. You know what I mean? So I have to think about this. Because in order to cook, I have to open all the windows, and the AC doesn't hold very well in here in direct sunlight and all the windows being open. So just trying to think how bad I really want it. You know what? We'll go for an American classic. We're gonna go for the ramen noodles. Ramen noodles are essential to the American diet. I'm just kidding. Um, but yeah, no, seriously, I'm gonna have ramen noodles. But um, I really don't want to draw too much attention to myself because I'm usually not running the generator, and I'm a bit more paranoid than your average van dweller. Um, Simply because I found some golden spots, and I really don't want to lose them because I've never been bothered. There's other people that are living in their vehicles nearby, um, and I don't want to cause a situation that's going to um, make this spot an unviable spot. So I'm just gonna go um, down here in the cabinet, and I'm gonna pull out my trusty dusty bowl here. I know for a fact that I have some water in the fridge. This doesn't go in the tank. This is drinking water. I try not to make it a practice of drinking the water that's in the tank, um, because even with a filter, I have a filter that hooks up to the tank. If you're going to be using the water on your body, you need to have one of these. If you're going to be drinking it, it needs to be something a lot more advanced than this. This is, in my opinion, I'm not a scientist. I don't know anything about filtering water, but I know that I wouldn't just want to put any old water on my body to wash it on a consistent basis. Also, you want to have these. Um, these are just wipes. I get them from the dollar store, but in the case of an emergency where you're not paying attention and all of a sudden you haven't taken a shower, you need to have a backup plan, because funk pauses for no man. Um, but yeah, this is gonna be my snack for right now. I'm probably gonna get something to eat later or not. I have to confess, I eat out a lot. Like because I'm saving so much money, I can afford to have lunch and dinner and breakfast out. And a lot of people can't do that, but when your rent slash mortgage is only um, like $400 a month, um, and you don't have a car payment or anything like that, go get some food. Like that's not an issue. Um, Another thing with living in a van, whenever you put a cap on something, you always want to make sure that the cap is on. And the best way to do that is to put the cap on, put your finger on it, turn it to the side, and see if it leaks. And then also turn it upside down, holding it firmly. You don't want to put a lot of pressure. You just want to make sure this is here in case the cap comes off, then you can push pressure on it. You know what I mean? So I'm barely touching this bottle, barely touching it. And you see how there's water coming out of that? Look at that. There's only one way to figure that out, and that's if you did this test. Now, the reason I did that is because I live in a van. Um, a lot of people, if you don't live in a van, you never, like when you break the seal on something, you stand it up in your refrigerator. It doesn't have to be turned on its side or anything like that. So once the seal is broken on a liquid that's cheap, like this came from the dollar store. This is a dollar store bottle of water. Um, they tend to leak. So you can have a good day or you can have a bad day. If you put that in the refrigerator and you come back and your refrigerator is covered in water and you don't know why, or you lay it down under your bed and there's a pool of water down there and you obviously know why because that bottle's there, or you put it somewhere very sensitive, like next to electronics. I've never done that. Don't ever do that. Ever. Do not ever put any water near any electronics. Ever. But anyway, get off my soapbox and put this in the micro. All right. My microwave here, it doesn't have a what do you call it? A monitor. See, the monitor doesn't work quite properly there. Yeah, 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 all right. But I know it's working because when I open up the micro, you got light in there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. All right, I'm done. I'll stop playing around with that. Put that in the microwave. All right. See, now I'm on an angle, and this will move a little bit. Watch the generator like sound like it's about to shut off. There it is. Gotta shut that bad boy off because in my van, the generator doesn't like to use the AC and the microwave at the same time. These are little things you learn. I recommend that if you ever go buy a used Class B RV, um, you need to run things, you need to test three things. I said four, three things. Um, the generator, the air conditioner, um, and the microwave. Um, because most people, in my opinion, don't use the stove. If you plan on using the stove, test the stove. Um, Generally, RV dealerships will make sure the plumbing is working properly. It's all gravity driven. I don't know of any that are pressurized, but most of it's gravity driven. Of course, you want to test that. Um, I'm trying to think what are the other things that I use the most. I use the bed. Run that bed up and down about 5 or 6 times just to see if it breaks while you're there. If I could do this all over again, I would not buy this without any warranties. I just wouldn't do it. Only because nothing's happened. Thank God. By the grace of God, nothing's happened that I've needed to replace. But if I'm ever in the event that it does, it's going to create a huge problem. Now, one thing I did notice is I've got a pretty nasty leak um, back here next to my clothes. Lines right there and there, and then also there, and then there's also a line of water that looks like all the way across the top there. That is a bad sign. That is a really, really bad sign for me. Um, this is something that, and you can see it there, for two reasons. One, mold grows wherever water sits by and doesn't evaporate. And two, um, it's going to be probably costly to fix. So that's just my experience. Anybody who's in college knows the amazing pack of ramen noodle sauce. You can put this on anything. Even if you buy a pack of ramen noodles and never eat them and use this for like soups, chicken, um, beef, pork, you have to buy the pack that's designed for that. But it's amazing, man. It's amazing. Nutritionists and doctors will tell you not to use the whole pack, but oh gosh. Wee. That is hot. My goodness, that one spot. Fire. Okay. Got some new black pepper on. The last one I used was like one of those shaker kind where um, it was already like ground up. This one isn't ground up. So I can grind it up myself. It's probably not the freshest, but um, I also got some other stuff in here that I'm gonna throw in there. Just kind of spice it up. And I'm not gonna use those guys. We probably got enough of that in there already. Let that sit for a little bit. So if you guys have any questions, just send me a message. Otherwise, I'm just gonna sit here and be quiet for a little bit until you guys respond. even know this was here. Motorhome weight information. I did not know that. That's really good information. Thank you, Pleasure Way. Pleasure Way Industries, you're amazing for putting this sticker inside this door because I've never noticed it. And I've looked at this sticker 175 times. Let me show you. So this vehicle, hold on, let me turn this AC off so it's not blowing in my ear. All right, this vehicle can only have 9,200. Let me turn this around because this is difficult. 9,200 pounds minus the UVW, which is 7,624 pounds, minus the fresh water tank, which is almost 300 pounds. May as well say that, and then minus the propane, which is, they call it LP. It's 36 pounds, and then also minus if you put 4 people in here. So 616 pounds for 4 people. Divide that by 4. You tell me how much each person can weigh. But anyway, this guy decided that it was worth 900. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do my own math on that. But yeah, that's really good information. Is this plate cool enough to hold yet? Let's see. Does this look good enough with these pink pants? Ugh. Yep, I think I'm gonna do it. Oh well, why not? Only one way to find out. Doesn't match at all. Oh well. I live in a van. Who am I trying to impress? So I don't like to keep the windows closed off like this, but the reason I do that is because of where I am. Right now, I'm literally sitting next to a park. So anybody and their mother who walks by and sees these lights on can see inside. They don't have lights. It's kind of like driving down the street and seeing somebody driving past a house who have all the lights on inside and none of the shades are down. You're just asking for attention. And in this day and age, people who don't understand van life, they're not gonna care. They're just gonna be like, "There's some guy in a van." All right. What needs to happen next? Do I have any other shirts? And I wish I packed differently. Oh, you know what? What about this shirt? What do you guys think? Is that better with pink? I think so. It's gonna be wrinkled beyond belief, but who cares? I don't. This bad boy on. Has anybody ever put in tree nuts in ramen noodles? Let's see how that tastes. I don't know. I've never done it. Let's give it a shot. All right, we've got some almonds. We've got some sunflower seeds, yeah, and we also have some walnuts. Yeah. I'm going to do a controlled test of this. Let's try the walnut. One man with a walnut putting it inside his ramen noodles. Oh gosh, whatever was he thinking? That's not a good match. It's not terrible. Like, I could get used to it, but my gosh, why did I have to become a vegetarian? All right. Now we are going to try the sunflower seed. We're going to pick the seeds and put them in salad and noodles. We're going to take the noodles and bring them to my stomach. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're going to soak the sunflower seeds inside of the noodles like this. Okay, take your time. You don't want to rush things. Okay. Oh my goodness, I'm losing them. They're going all over the place. Oh! That's better. Hmm. Sunflower seeds and ramen noodles. Okay, so I don't know what everybody else's taste buds are like, but sunflower soup, hot pepper flakes. Okay. Um, I don't have hot pepper flakes. I have red pepper. Yeah, I got crushed red pepper flakes. So that's the only thing. That's probably actually really good. Um, all right. So the sunflower seeds weren't bad. So if you ever want to put sunflower seeds inside of your ramen noodles, that's a good idea. The walnuts are going to be sweet and like a tree nut sweet, which is really weird. Sunflower seeds obviously are generally salty. These are salted sunflower seeds. Now, the thing that I'm afraid of the most, which is almonds. I really, really like almonds. I want to see what this tastes like, and I'm really scared. Don't ruin this for me, ramen. If you ruin this for me, I swear I'll never see you again. All right. So I've taken the almonds and I've placed them ever so gently inside of the remainder of the ramen noodles. There are, of course, a number of ramen noodles circulating inside the bowl. I'm going to let these almonds soak ever so gently. These almonds are chopped. Let's read the bottom of the package to ensure that I'm giving you the right amount. It says almonds, tree nuts, and then it also says nutrition facts. So it says saturated fat 1 gram, trans fat 0, cholesterol 0, sodium 0, total carbs 7 grams, fiber 4 grams. I can go on and on. Like the serving size is a third of a cup. All right. I am terrified. Okay, I only got like one sliver of an almond there. This time I got like a whole bunch of almonds. You see those bad boys? Woo! All right. Okay. The almonds are not bad. I think I found a secret to ramen noodles. Wow. That's the biggest surprise of it all. If anything, I'm showing my ignorance here when I say I really thought that these walnuts would be the winner, and I don't know. I think it might be because they're sweet, but between the sunflower seeds and the almonds, nobody else can stand up straight to them. Wow, what a night! Oh gosh. So I can take a walk outside and let you guys see where I park. If you want, you just gotta let me know. You guys are gonna be shocked when you see where it is that I'm parking. Does anybody else drink the juice in the ramen noodles? I do. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Now I have to wash the dishes that I have made. Clearly. Okay. So when it's time to wash the dishes in this bad boy, you have to do um, another step that you don't normally do in a house. Like in a house, you just turn the faucet on, it comes on, you're good. The pressure's there. In a RV, you have to turn on the water pump. Hopefully, you heard that sound that it made, that horrendous sound. And we know from earlier that this is nearly empty. But if I turn this faucet on, it comes on. In an RV, there's going to be a hot water heater. Water heater. Turn this on, that light lights up. There is a lamp outside that's not a lamp, but a propane lit component that's heating the water. Once this light goes off, you have hot water. So now I have hot water, probably because I'm in a hot environment. All right. So I'm going to see if I can set this up to where we can get me washing dishes. Okay. I think I figured it out. All right, there we go. It's going to be a weird angle, guys. I am terribly sorry. Okay, maybe I have to just put it on the microwave. There we go. All right, we got the sink. A dish that I'm not gonna wash because I really don't need to. Like worst case scenario, I can toss this. I got this from the dollar store. There was like 5 of them in there. But what I need to wash is the dish that I keep all the time. This is a glass dish. I also got this from the dollar store. I go to the dollar store a lot, but they have a lot of good stuff. So, especially for somebody who's living in the. Do you want me to do this like a French chef? I do not want to insult any French people, but I will wash this dish with this example. All right, I'm taking the dish, I'm washing the dish like this. You see? Okay. All right. We take the dish, we wash the dish, and we want ensure that you are washing the outside because there are sometimes germs that will get on the outside, and you have no idea that there are germs there. All right. Wash this bad boy off here. We got it good. Now you'll know for a fact that your tank is totally empty once once it starts sputtering. I probably could have taken a shower with that because I don't use a whole lot of water when I take a shower. Um, and then what I do is I drain off this soap on the right side there. Hang this here. Take my towel. Dry that. That dirty dish can stay there like that there. All right. All right. Put that over top of the sink. So that I am done. All right. Now, there are several things that you can do to make sure you are safe in this kind of lifestyle. Let me change this. Oh, that's not going to work. That's not going to work either. I'll just hold it. There's several things you can do. Depending on the state, it might be a Second Amendment state. But, sometimes you have to carry mace, which I have all over the place. Like, it's like Skittles. You come in here if you want to. Hopefully you're high on PCP or something. Or, or you're going to be blind. Be blind, I swear. Oh gosh, you're gonna be blind. Okay. Um, and then once a person's incapacitated visually, you can do whatever you want to them. They got to be like some type of like blind ninja in order to defeat you. Um, but yeah. So, unless you guys have any further questions, I am personally gonna go play my saxophone. You guys have a great night. I will be back tomorrow night.